Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. Today, we hunt the worm. At least attempt to hunt the worm, as getting to its location is rather difficult as a solo player in runes right now, but this journey is quite an exciting one that I want to share. Another exciting thing is that I'm almost at 2,500 subs, something I never thought possible. Just a guy, or a kid, that grew up on a farm and was told gaming was not really something to be proud of. And to this day, I don't really share any of this stuff that I'm doing with anyone in my inner circle, or for that matter, anybody at all in real life. So I'm glad to be sharing this one with you guys, and as you can see, Green Bardiche hits for quite a lot of damage. And after you watch the Warlock video, I decided, why not play a class that has crazy strength numbers and can just smash people with Bardiche repeatedly without using Blow of Corruption. So we're on the Barbarian. I leveled this up there a few days ago, and I've been excited to show you guys some of the gameplay. It would be nice if you had a willing combatant in this starting arena, because it helps learning how to block. Unfortunately, this guy just wanted to dance, and then we eventually shared a quick coffee together. So, the whole plan: go into ruins as a solo and disrupt worm farms, or at least maybe get our own key and try to loot the horde. It's a lot more difficult journey than I expected, and you'll appreciate why here in a short few moments. As I said, I don't play runes all that much, so I'm still learning a lot of this map. One thing that I've found out very early on: there's a pile of range mobs. Like, everywhere you look there's a range mob, whether it be crossbowmen, skelly bowmen like this guy. Luckily, Bardiche hitting for that much does them in about one hit. It looks like I'm not the only barbarian struggling to get by some of these mobs, as this guy just comes zooming through and pulls a whole bunch of mobs through with him. We let him pass. Back to dealing with this skeleton. Hopefully get out of here without too much damage taken. Sadly, we have to put down this dog and continue on with our journey. We need to get to the center of the ring, and all this stuff is taking time. Something I didn't really expect to be as much as a problem. There's a lot of mobs to deal with, and tricky mobs, and truthfully I don't know my way around all that well yet. As soon as we try to make it into the inner circle, we get a ranger holding that wooden barricade, and then another skeleton ranger slowly staggering towards us. So once again, we're doing this little circle around stuff. We then spot another guy just casually zooming by. Thinking we're faster than we are, we decide, let's try to catch this guy, but that's not going to happen holding a Bardiche. We turn back around because this is the shortest route to where we want to go. And we rediscover our barbarian friend, and this looks like a barbarian duel. Barely missing. And then catching him with our follow-up. Desperately needed that block into a headshot with the Bardiche. Eating 3 arrows, I don't know how I'm still alive. And now we have to make up some serious ground against this ranger, or else we're cooked. Perfect time, hopefully he's reloading. And luckily he couldn't get that multi-shot off in time. However, now we got another problem to deal with, which is Warlock deciding he wants to join in the action. He's chasing me down, probably trying to land a Curse of Pain. Down to our last couple of throwing axes. It makes this incredibly difficult. Hopefully we can get close enough. And sure enough, one Bardiche swing does that guy in. This has been an absolute mess of players and mobs, and I haven't even got within sight lines of the worm spawn location. So, we are slowly but surely making our way to the inner circle, but quickly running out of time. Forgetting I had Crush or Smash, whatever you want to call it, equipped, we decided to waste even more time opening this for a clarity potion, which does absolutely nothing for us. Looking for that ranger and that barb to see if we have any meds to be scavenged. No, looks like everyone's coming in pretty bare bones. Get a throwing axe, which isn't a bad find considering I'm using Achilles Strike. Throwing axes can be very, very strong if you land the Achilles Strike hit. Mainly on like rangers and rogues and stuff that are moving quite a bit. Sometimes fighters, you hit them with it and they don't do anything but hold their shield up. so you don't get a whole lot of damage as they don't really do any sidestepping. Really, Savage Blow, or whatever it's called, Savage Strike, is my other preferred option, because it absolutely chunks through armor, which can be a main problem 1v1ing against a fighter. So we're actually a little bit lost here. I'm trying to avoid some of these ranged mobs, which is literally 90% of this place. Thankfully that skeleton decides he's going to open the door for us, but we're stuck at a gate and we don't know where the location is to open it, so we gotta fight these guys. Take a whole bunch of damage, because that one was a red, requiring 2 hits. And now we're sitting at 30% HP. Still not at giant worm location. And of course, as we're trying to make haste and get through this doorway, this guy decides he's going to block the entire doorway from us. Meaning we're going to be fighting a few more mobs before we can make our way in the direction we want to get to. Bardiche makes quick work of them. We're hopefully going to find some meds, but nothing. Now we just got to book it, because we're running out of time. If the zone's not quite perfect, we are going to be left behind, and Worm will be long gone and already killed. Hearing a Bard means there's likely a team on the other side of this door. A team that's probably already killed the Worm. Sure enough, here we are. I end up landing a nice throwing axe, kind of luckily on that back cleric. And now we are in trouble. 1v1ing this Barb doesn't have me too concerned, but the protection bubble and the blast on top of that axe is going to be a difficult thing to not take damage from. He ends up landing his hit. We probably should have tried to block, but what actually did us in was the arming sword in our back. Did not even see the fighter rotating around behind me, so unlucky. Attempt number 1 was a failure, but we did find our way there, and we are seeing teams farming this thing, which means there is potential. We just need to learn how to do this properly and take our chance when it comes. Jumping into game number 2. I don't know if you guys notice anything strange, but there's a lot of guys double jumping around. I've had instances where I've counted at least 8, sometimes even more rogues and runes, and it's a tough situation to be in, as they can basically just rupture you from distances, chipping away any of your meds you brought in, until by the end of your dungeon run, you have absolutely nothing left. If you ever do run into a party, or a group of 2, you're pretty much cooked already. You've been chipped down, even if you're slaying a lot of these rogues, like just smashing them for 100 damage. It's impossible to survive the whole raid. But I have hope, and I'm not going to give up on this thing. I do want to try to make it to the Worm. And if clobbering a few rogues is what it takes to get there and eventually fight that thing, I'm kind of excited for it. It's going to be worth it when we get there in the end. Fighting this shield skelly becomes very frustrating. Both my hits smash into that shield, and then I keep missing that narrow pointed stab, which usually isn't as hard to land as it was right there. That cost us some HP, and we did forget to bring meds in on this run. And look what it is. 3 rogues, double jumping around, stabbing and throwing stuff. This will be a fun one. They've all spotted me, and the 3 musketeers with flying boots on decide I'm their prime target. Not only do they have throwing knives, but they brought a whole bunch of drums. Trying to take out the drum guy. I don't know how he survived that shot to the face. And then this guy as well survives at least one of our hits until we follow him up with a thrust to the stomach. We're getting trapped by mobs, which is not good. I can't even see the mobs, it's so dark. And these rogues pretty much have me right where they want me. Landing another big jab on a guy still doesn't bring him down. Now we're chasing him, as he is likely very low HP. Really wish that axe had hit him, but he double jumped away from it, as rogues do. We might be able to clear these mobs and get ourselves back in a position to fight. And we see a wizard, so hopefully help is on the way. I'm fully expecting a rogue just to appear out of the darkness, out of invis, and just basically one-hit throwing knife me. Hearing a spider, but we can't see where it's coming from. Yeah. We get killed by a spider after all that. Sad. However, we're not done yet. We go back in, buy another Bardiche, which are actually very cheap, and try this one more time. Maybe there won't be so many rogues, and I don't mind fighting a guy like that. Fighter v Barb is a pretty solid 1v1 if you're Barbarian and have Reckless Attack equipped, which I did switch to. The only reason why I did is because if you're in a 1v1 against another Barbarian, or any player at all, they're not moving all that much. So Achilles Strike works better on squishy targets like rogues or rangers. But I find I prefer just to have that armor penetration if I ever do run into a fighter. So it's kind of a 50-50. If you're more worried about squishy targets, take a Achilles Strike. If you're more worried about geared guys, use Reckless Attack. And right off the hop, we start taking arrows from somewhere. We have no idea where these arrows are coming from, but we have an incredible spawn right beside the worm location. So we're going to pot up. I'm actually going to sit here for a while and just see if these guys go underneath, as this could be a team trying to farm worm as well. So this is our kind of moment just to relax, take a breather, and then hopefully we can strike from above, as I've been wanting to do for a long time. Inside, open this little chest too, just while we're waiting, and there's absolutely nothing good. After about a minute of waiting, I decide, don't hear much lately, so maybe they went underneath, and I'll start inching my way a little closer. Still hearing nothing. It's all way too quiet. And there we hear it. They're fighting worm right now. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Let's do everything we can not to screw it up. They're right perfectly set up. And I missed my first swing. Such a huge miss. We take out the Bard instantly with a smash to the face. And now this guy's healing back up. Reckless Attack is ready to go if we can get close to this guy, but we're getting pushed around by Worm. And taking damage from him did not help our chances. We landed a Savage Attack, Reckless Strike, sorry, which hurt this guy quite a bit. We just needed to land that first hit and have that guy within one hit range from the start. If I'd landed the first hit, I would have focused on him rather than the Bard, but we failed. Our opportunity is gone, and this guy's left to farm this thing by himself. I was so disappointed. So disappointed. All that hard work getting there. Had our perfect opportunity, and we just made a few small mistakes. 1v1 against this guy, I should be able to block as well, just my HP was way too low to take any sort of chip damage. Luckily, this guy didn't actually get anything that valuable. A blue with only one stat roll on it's kind of strange, so I may have been a little bit more disappointed if I had have won all that for next to no return. But look, we may try this again, so let me know what your thoughts are. I did have a lot of fun with this Barbarian class, and I will be looking out for more worm farm opportunities. So I'll see you guys all next time. And thank you once again.